Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I'm Associate Prof. Dr. Nur Abdul Hamid together with Dr. Rosfazila, Dr. Nur Faiza, Dr. Nurzia and Dr. Nur Khaliza from Kolej Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Selangor are presenting in the third International Conference on Management, Education, Social Sciences and Innovation 2022. The topic is on mutual cooperation and it takes two to tango in postgraduate supervision. The presentation contents is on the abstract, the introduction, methodology, literature reviews, analysis and discussion, and also the conclusion. As for the abstract, as we know, having a supervisor who can work with students in an ideal way throughout the research process is something that is very helpful to students. PhD students or prospective students and their supervisors are actually a team. The precise cooperation of students and supervisors can usually be seen in the perfection and completion of an excellent thesis. However, students need to first understand what the real role of supervisors so that students and supervisors can work well together. The objective of this study is to discuss the mutual cooperations and it takes two to tango in postgraduate supervision and the responsibilities of both the supervisor and supervisee in creating a positive environment and an effective supervisory process for the effectiveness in the postgraduate studies. There are also three samples of common issues and case studies in addressing the issues encountered in supervision, and the possible solutions to such problems are simulated here. As an introduction, the primary responsibilities that supervisors need to carry out are not only supervising, but also acting as mentors, trainers, guides, and also facilitators. The practice of a positive supervisor-student relationship usually includes a combination of various factors such as supervisor skills and commitment, students' abilities and commitment, the existence of clear policies or guidelines at the university level to overcome problems related to candidates and ongoing research. Criteria required from a competent supervisor is someone willing to listen, to guide, to train, to assist, and also be a reliable person. The role of the supervisor is to provide basic facilities to students, to regulate and to monitor the development of supervision so that students can perform their duties with excellence. The methodology we use the qualitative method, adopts a library-based research and applies the method of literature reviews through content analysis of documents. The literature highlights the opinions and views of researchers to the study. Hence, the analysis used was based on the content analysis, especially previous academic studies conducted on the student-supervisor relationship. As for the literature reviews, review of the literature brings into light various challenges faced by the university students at personal academic and administrative levels. For those studying at postgraduate level, the degree of success that they will have in utilizing their knowledge is in part bounded by the quality of the teaching they receive during their PhD studies. According to Karakutu Aydin, Abali and Yildim 2008, identifying the problems of the postgraduate education which trains academic person who plays an important role in developing the country and solving these problems are very important for the country. According to Nur Adha et al. 2021, students are the valuable asset to the country, and the mission and vision of the government is to produce students that make up human capital with a first-class mind to face the challenges of economic development based on knowledge and innovation, as well as human capital development with skilled knowledge and superior personality. According to Deuce 2010, Manshisi et al. 2015, during the thesis work, the postgraduate students and guides face a variety of difficulties. Supervision problems exist such as an inadequately low meeting frequency and depth, resulting in a stressful and lonesome PhD education as well as frustrated supervisors according to Dias A.J. Jensen, Wadi 2006. There are 5 categories emerged to describe the variations of the experiences. Number 1 is involvement in important decisions. Second, supervisors not being up to date. Third, dubious advice from supervisors. Third, mediating between supervisors. And fifth, the interpersonal relationship. The supervision that emphasizes more on the person and guidance are often perceived as being more supportive to the student, as according to Murphy 2009, but there is no one supervisory style that is effective for all students, according to Wright et al. 2007. As for analysis and discussion, according to Cullen et al. 1994, present a high-level 3-stage model. The first stage is characterized by a significant input of time and effort helping the student to find or establish a question, problem, or topic for their thesis. The second stage, next stage, is the student is monitored but allowed to operate with greater independence. Unless there are warning signs, contact is most often left to the student to initiate. And the final stage involve writing up, and like stage 1 is again characterized by an increase in the time and effort exerted by the supervisor. According to Nur Adha and Faiza 2020, being a postgraduate student, it involved them in organizing measures and strategies to deal with all future challenges as the backbone in being leaders in various employment sectors. Nur Adha 2018 also states that the role of the supervisor is to provide effective supervision, to act as a mentor and guide, and serve as an additional knowledge reference center. Okay, as number 1, to provide the effective supervision, whereby this goes beyond the purpose of research and production of the thesis itself by including the following: willingness to provide support for a student's intellectual development, and also to raise and encourage PhD students to become highly regarded thinkers and scientists. Second, act as a mentor and guide. Apart from supervising and meeting the comprehensive demands of the needs of PhD students, supervisors serve as a mentor and guide students, supervise students. In an ideal situation, the supervisor is to be a patient teacher to deal with a various frustration of his students. Third one, serve as an additional knowledge reference center. As a supervisor who is a student reference for all matters related to the research work and production of their thesis, a supervisor should equip himself with a high level of knowledge. This is to prepare him to face any question that student will ask during the study process, and a supervisor is ideally able to be a knowledge reference center for their students. Characteristic of an excellent supervisor: the role of supervisor is very much needed to guide and to provide useful guidance so that they can complete the research on time. The criteria required of a supervisor is that one should be competent, willing to listen, to guide, train, help, and be reliable. The role of the supervisor is to provide basic facilities to students, as well as to regulate and to monitor the development of supervision so that students can perform their duties with excellence. According to Lewis, 1997, Lewis 2001 said that constructive supervision greatly contributes to beneficial outcomes for students. These include a positive environment, successful departmental social relation, and timely study. The supervisor therefore performs friendship and a nurturing role, but at the same time they strive for quality. The student, on the other hand, becomes a firm, as according to Lee 2010, and consequently, the relationship is influenced in a positive way. Characteristic of successful PhD students: it is important for them to meet the expectation of the supervisor by having the characteristic as follows. The first one is with positive attitude and high perseverance. A student must be willing to work hard and stay the effort. Second one, take things seriously, having good focus and confidence on effort spent in completing a research thesis and not easily influenced by any external interference. Third one, with a high confidence in articulating and defending arguments. In this case, students need to equip themselves with sufficient knowledge regarding the field of study of their choice. The fourth one, understand expectation. In general, this expectation includes the hopes and responsibility to religion, society, to self, and also family. The mutual cooperation in takes two to tango. Supervisor, supervisee simulation case study proposed, and the proposed solution is provided here. And we have three issues proposed. Issues number one, students who have too many research ideas and are unable to focus on realizing the proposal. The role of the supervisors is to approach the situation and problem, thus understanding the student. Supervisors are responsible for providing awareness and learning objectives to students. Role of the supervisor need to focus on the areas in interest of the research and be responsive to the good input given by the supervisor. Issue 2. Students do not show the progress of the proposal or the process of study or thesis writing because there are part-time students and work while studying. The role of supervisor here, they have to approach students and understand the status of students as an employee in the workplace or family members at home, such as a mother, father, child, and so on. Supervisors need to track the candidate's progress and make them aware of the need and importance to the progress in their postgraduate journey. The role of the supervisor need to plan ahead on the projection of studies and be active every quality time, having the opportunity to discuss with the supervisor. And finally, issue 3, supervisors do not supervise because they are busy and are difficult to contact for supervision session appointment. The role of the supervisor here to reflect and to re-evaluate the role and responsibilities of being a supervisor to students. They have to divide time well and communicate effectively with students. They have to reschedule the virtual meeting if there are no face-to-face opportunities, such as communicating by appointment, mail, email, WhatsApp, and text messaging. And they have to talk to students and other supervisors about the problem, to set aside ego and act maturely and professional. The role of supervisor, they need to plan ahead the timing and when to be with the supervisor and making time to soft remind the supervisor about the schedule time. As a conclusion, supervision is only effective if there is a good rapport and respect between the supervisor and the student. Therefore, while the PhD student has specific roles to play, so too does the student. A PhD thesis is a unique and original study. Research for thesis completion and perfection work requires specific guidance, especially in the evaluation and analysis of the entire research. PhD students are generally given guidance by the supervisor, and however, students must take the initiative to be proactive in determining the direction and production of the thesis. The mutual understanding and a positive supervisor-student relationship that combines the various factors such as the supervisor skills and commitment and the student abilities and commitment make the perfect combination of the supervision. And finally, it takes two of them, between the supervisor and the student or the supervisee, to tango and play their roles and understand their respective responsibilities in facing challenges throughout the postgraduate studies. Okay, that's all our paper for today. Thank you. Syukran. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.